Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's time for another anime review. Welcome once again, guys. I'm going to be reviewing on a anime that is not so old. I believe it aired 2-3 years ago, which is not that long ago, to be honest. It was already when I was recording quite a bit of stuff here, so it's not that old, but it is older than most of the stuff that I review. So maybe you have not heard of it. It is called Live Lessons with Urami-chan. Sorry, Uramichi Oniisan. It is pretty good. It's pretty good series. I will be honest. It is overwhelmingly with the comedy if you watch it like too many episodes back to back. But if it's a series that you watch here and there, or an episode or two, I think you actually really do enjoy. I think the only few episodes that were nice to watch back to back were maybe episode 11 and 12. I'll get to that in just a moment. But before anything, if you have not done so by now, subscribe to my channel. As of right now, I don't know if my videos will be monetized anymore. So I will be creating, hopefully, a new way where you guys can support me. So just keep an eye on that and make sure you continue supporting me in my channel by subscribing, commenting, liking, because that also helps tremendously. If you have not done so by now, make sure you watch my other anime reviews because I have quite a bit of them and more to come for sure. I'm not gonna stop the channel, so make sure you guys are commenting and liking and doing all that fun stuff because it helps me also grow as a creator. So, okay, this is again life lessons with Uramichi Onisan. Now, I want to say the characters do a slow build up and slow growth. Um, I guess that's the best word to say of who they are to to the viewer. Now there is 13 episodes, so it's a little longer than most series, but still like a typical series. We follow the life of Uramichi, who Uramichi is essentially a guy who dedicated his life to acrobats and all these types of gymnastics. And he graduated from school, and there's not much work after all that. So he ends up doing a kids show that where he does a lot of his acrobats in the show. Within the show, there is four other characters that I would say that are main characters with him. You have Usahara, and then you have uh, Mitsuo, which Usahara is in a bunny costume and Mitsuo is in a bear costume. They were at one point roommates with Uramichi. It's mentioned in the beginning. We see kind of their past story in the last few episodes, which where it gets more serious. And so they have history with him. They followed him to this studio, and they're working there because, especially Usohara, he really looks up to him, and he wants to be like him. Then we have uh, Tadano, which is the girl. She is her inspiration is singing, and she does that in the show alongside with Daga. And Daga, other than him being cute and an airhead almost, there's not really much to his character. Uh, the girl, Talano, these are hard to pronounce for me. Sorry, guys. She she's very fixated in she's getting old and not married yet. So that's kind of the ongoing joke for her. They interact pretty greatly in their own way. Uramichi, his character for the entire series is very much a character who is given up in life almost, and um, he's teaching these kids lessons. But a lot of the lessons, at least at the beginning of the series, they're very much like cherish your childhood because when you grow up, everything is tough. You're gonna have to do tough things, and it ain't gonna be easy. And he teaches them about like depression and despair, and it's very random, but he does that. Um, the other comical side is that the director, uh, Tekito, I believe, is the one that always throws stuff at them. For example, they go to the beach to record a summer episode in the middle of winter, so they're freezing up. It's difficult to record. They repeat the same joke a few episodes later, and they go to the park in the hot summer with a bunch of jackets because they're recording a Christmas episode. And um, it's just fun to see all the different ideas because even though it's like a studio kind of creating this stuff, it that's very similar in a lot of workplaces. You have bosses that do that. They don't know what way it's going to work, so they throw at you so many things. And on my job it's kind of like that sometimes. I get things that in my head I'm like, this is ridiculous, why are we even doing it? I'm just going to comply because it's my job, right? But it's ridiculous. I don't think that's the direction that we should go. But oh well, it's a job is a job. You have to do this stuff sometimes. Sometimes your opinion is not um in the highest value, I guess, and you learn to just go with the flow. And that's kind of what these characters are. There's other characters, side characters that really add to the series comedy as well. We have the designer Kikaku, who he is, man, he's insane. He's always doing like real dark stuff, and he kind of only shows his true colors to Uramichi. Everyone else thinks that he's pretty chill. There is another person that's in marketing, I believe. Or I'm sorry, he's like in the social media kind of thing. Very serious guy. We don't really see him more than maybe two episodes, but he adds some comedy to it. There's a second director that shows up ever so often, trying to get ideas from the actors, and he shows up as well. Um, the half of the series, I believe, sorry, maybe episode 7, we actually start getting true life lessons that as an adult you can learn. And I actually really appreciated that because it almost hooked me with the comedy, not really with the, oh, yeah, there's some lessons to it. Because in the beginning, there are some lessons, but they're kind of obvious lessons that you teach kids. But then towards the end, as the characters themselves are growing, Uramichi is teaching the kids lessons that one or two of the characters that episode has to learn and has to understand. Like, sometimes even though your boss makes you do some stuff, yelling at him or reacting in a very negative way doesn't always solve everything. He teaches about, apologizing and how it could be hard sometimes, but you have to do it, right? He teaches about even how people come from different families, and we go through different experiences, and that's why we as adults can be different from one another. He does a lot of lessons that actually would be good lessons for an adult to learn. And I kind of feel like the writer hit those underneath the surface. And I really, really love that. So props to that. Just because of that, the second half of the series, I want to say this actually moved it to a 7. I was going to give it a 6.56, around a 6 or 6.5. But because that the name or the purpose of the anime was not just giggles. There was actually a meaning to it, and it left me sometimes episodes where I was like, "Huh, I learned something out of this," or maybe not learned, but reminded. I guess it was nice to watch. So, out of 10, 7 out of 10. I think it's a great comedy to watch. It leaves a good imprint and shows kind of positive views of the world sometimes. So yeah, we should definitely watch it. So thank you guys so much for watching this. If you haven't done so by now, subscribe to my channel. Again, this is 13 episodes. It is on Crunchyroll, both dubbed and subbed, I believe. Not I believe, I'm pretty sure it's both dubbed and subbed because I watched some subbed and some dubbed. So go watch it in Crunchyroll. Thank you again for watching this. If you haven't done so by now, subscribe to my channel, give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing, and I will see you guys next time. Like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.